Welcome to Table Salt. We are in week 3 of our Bad Word series. Today, we are joined by Pastor Jeremy Fisher.
Let's go.
So glad that you're here.
Dude, I'm pumped. I can't wait.
Yeah,
Let's go.
we always have the most interesting conversations.
I feel like we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, and actually today is going to be a fun conversation because it's about everybody's favorite thing.
Gossip.
Gossip.
The juicy news.
Oh, yeah. Do you think that gossiping is a problem in church circles?
No.
No.
No way. No, I think it's a massive issue.
Yeah. There's that old adage about they don't gossip in church, but they pray about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have a prayer request for.
Isn't it funny how like you can maybe we're getting a little too far ahead here, but isn't it funny how you can mask something as sinister as gossip with something as noble as a prayer request?
Right.
Right. Have you been victim of gossip within the church? Have you felt the sting of it?
Well, let's see. I'm 40 years old and single. What do you guys think? You guys think I don't know what you say about me? You don't think I get your coded messages?
Oh, that's good. That's good. What pastor hasn't, though?
Yeah,
right.
But what Christian hasn't?
Yeah,
what
it's true.
What person hasn't?
I've heard it said. This sounds very bleak. I've heard it said. If you haven't been hurt in church, stick around. You will be.
Oh,
and typically,
that is terrible.
Typically, it is oftentimes gossip, right? Yeah. It is something that's so sneaky that most people, if you're to talk to most people, they wouldn't say they had a gossip problem.
Yeah.
They think that sermon's for somebody else.
What is like, how are we defining gossip? Because if I come to you and we're hanging out and you ask me about Rainer Powell.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what is Rainer up to?
Yeah. Yeah.
When does me asking how he's doing, when does that become gossip?
Yeah, I think gossip turns into gossip when you're speaking about someone negatively without them in the proximity. Without them.
So is it I know I'm being a Pharisee about this,
yeah,
but
no, it's good.
Is it gossip if I'm just like, oh well, so and so is in the hospital? That's not gossip.
No.
If I say so-and-so is in the hospital because they were driving drunk again, is that gossip?
Yeah. I don't want to butcher this, but I've heard it said along the lines like something like, not everything that is true needs to be said, but everything that you say needs to be true. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
And so that's kind of, in some ways, that's sort of the litmus test is you want to tell people the truth, but not everything you need to say has to be like every bit of the details,
Right.
And I know for myself, I'm going to kind of out myself here, but I know that I like to sprinkle that sort of thing in sometimes, like the extra bit of information.
Oh yeah.
For a lot of different reasons, not because I'm trying to inform the other party, but because I want to seem in the know.
Right.
I want to seem powerful. I want to seem connected.
Oh yeah, there is that like thing where people are like, oh, I can't tell you this because I know something you don't know.
Yeah.
You're not really in, so I can't tell you this.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's something to that. It's just gossip is it can be so subtle, so pervasive, sneaks its way in, and that's part of the danger of it.
I always found it interesting because as a kid, I was pretty much inundated that like gossip is just something that women do.
Yeah.
But not, I work in a small town church, country church.
The guys around here are the worst. Oh, I know plenty of guys. You get the boys together.
Yeah.
And
so this is not a gendered issue.
No, I don't think so. It might look a little different sometimes, but I think most people would say that they don't struggle with it. But what's the statute of limitations on gossip? Like, when is the last time you have to look back and say, I gossiped back in 2016 or something?
Yeah.
Does that mean that you're somehow not a gossiper today, or that hasn't run its course, that you no longer are connected to that sort of thing? If you've done it, chances are it's a pattern within your life. It's not a one-time thing.
For sure.
But it's something that you've gotten comfortable with. And I see that with men, women, church people, unchurched people. It's just something that people do.
Yeah. Sometimes I preface something I'm going to say, and I'll be like, hey, I want to tell you something, but I have to admit that this is probably just gossip,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you anyway.
Yeah.
And somehow that justifies it in my mind, because I'm like, if I go into it knowing that that's what I'm doing,
Yeah.
then, but that's not good.
No, and that doesn't alleviate what it is that you're doing.
Why is
And,
gossiping bad?
you know,
Why is it so fun? Why is it bad?
there-
Celebrity gossip, man.
you
All
get,
day, every day.
We talked about this earlier,
Yeah.
but when you get in the line at the grocery store and they've got all the tabloids and
Yeah.
stuff, doesn't it just feel almost impossible to not reach out? Just flip a couple pages.
I like
right?
I like the old school one. I'm never really into it, but like if you want to talk to me about Elvis and Bat Boy were caught having a hot dog at the Dodgers
The
game,
latest chupacabra sighting.
I'm all
Where's
about it.
Bigfoot at?
Where's Bigfoot?
Last spotted on the
Yeah.
moon, right? I think so. The reason why gossip is so bad,
Yeah.
there's several reasons, but let's just take it back to its literal genesis.
Okay.
No pun intended here. But the first account we have of gossip happening is the serpent speaking with Adam and Eve about what God said. And the serpent is there, and he's like, hey, did God really say that? And he's just twisting the truth a little bit. And I would say that you and I, if we're no more like hell and the devil and Satan and the demons than when we are speaking his language.
Right.
And that's the language of lies and gossip and deceit.
It's so interesting because when you said that, I started thinking like, oh well, this is not just something I'm saying, but when we say things to each other, we're creating things inside
Yeah.
of each other because
Yes.
we're never not attached to our emotions.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So if you say something to me that's going to make me dislike someone or mistrust someone or whatever, you're not just saying things; you are creating things
something.
inside
Yes.
of me. That's interesting.
I have a memory in my mind of watching a pastor speak. And while I was listening to this guy, I remember someone leaning over to me and telling me some alleged details from his personal life.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it was white noise, everything this man was saying
Wow.
from the stage. And I just think about the things that we say, the things that we talk about. If somebody were to hear something that was not true, but would cause them to lose faith in us or what's happening here, people are making spiritual decisions based on gossip that they hear.
Wow.
And so you just have to be mindful about the power that is in your speech.
Yeah.
Because gossip, you said this earlier, that I just think this is so telling. Gossip, a lot of times, we can make it kind of a noble thing. You lean over to that buddy at work, new guy at work, and you're like, hey, if you're going to work for such and such, you just need to know he's a little bit of a micromanager, and so you got to know what you're dealing with here. Or, if you're going to work beside this person, just be careful because they're not the most trustworthy. And it's almost like you're giving them tips.
Oh yeah.
But let's be honest, like you're just slashing the character of whoever that you're talking about.
Yeah.
You can disguise gossip so that it's a poison that poses as a vitamin.
Wow. Yeah.
Right? It's like something that's like, this is a healthy thing. This is a good thing.
You need to know this.
You need to know this.
Yeah, I'm saving you trouble.
But in the end, it's like, no, all you're doing is infecting this person that you're talking to.
You've made them hate the place they work at before they even got started. And this was the thing they had been praying for.
Yes.
This has been the thing that they've been hoping for.
Gossip is never neutral.
Yeah.
It is always corrosive.
Gossip is never neutral. That's a good takeaway.
That's good.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
I wish that's not a Jeremy Fisher original, but
Yeah.
that is so true. I feel like that is so true.
So the Bible describes gossip. You use the scripture. It's a tasty morsel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That goes down. And what is the rest of that?
Well, it just talks about how it's a tasty morsel that goes down deep inside, and the idea is, there's no nutritional value
Yeah.
to gossip. Isn't it weird how the best things, the best tasting things out there are the worst for you,
Yeah.
but the worst tasting things out there are the best for you?
Yeah.
Like, are you salad fan? You like kale?
No.
I
Kale
hate-
is decoration.
That's
Salad bar
exactly right.
decoration. It is what you use to
Yes,
decorate the
it's
other
ficus
lettuce.
leaves. That's
Yeah.
all that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah.
But you eat it and it's like, all right, I just added an extra 10 years to my life.
Yeah.
Whereas Like for me, if I had to choose my weapon of choice, my dessert of choice, I'm thinking about like beaver nuggets. If you had beaver nuggets at Buc-ee's,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah, they taste like corn pops to me.
yeah, they're
Or
like
something
they're
like
like
that,
sweeter corn pops. It's like
Yeah.
sugar caramel covered corn pops, and they have the salted
Have you ever
caramel.
eaten them in a bowl with milk?
No,
Okay,
but
don't. Yeah,
this is
that's
sounding
some fat boy stuff.
amazing. I love
Yeah,
it.
no, don't.
But anyway, what I was trying to get at is, for me, my vice is these beaver nuggets, and I shattered this tooth back here Christmas Eve. This tooth is still broken.
Yeah.
From beaver nuggets. I love beaver nuggets.
Yeah.
But all they have done is damage me. That's it.
Yeah, that's so interesting because you say gossip is never neutral. It's a morsel of goods that has no nutritional value, and we can deceive ourselves saying this doesn't affect me.
Oh yeah. Look at let me read this scripture here, because when we talk about gossip, typically we think about it as like, where does it rank on the list of sins to you?
I mean, it's pretty up there.
Oh, you think it's up there?
Oh yeah.
To me, I'm kind of like,
I kind of feel like
there's like a murder, adultery.
I put it up there with that. Because,
Really?
Yeah, I see.
No,
No.
no.
Go with me here. Go with me. How did the Pharisees get Jesus? What was their real complaint? They were sitting up on their little podiums, gossiping about everything that he was doing.
Gossip put Jesus on the cross.
I mean,
That is true.
It did not. Yeah.
That is
So-
true. They were taking all that misinformation to the Romans, and I don't know if I've ever thought about that.
They were
Rocky.
like, "This is
I stand corrected.
this is who people are saying this about you. People are saying this about
Yeah.
you. What are you saying
See,
about you?"
in my mind, I think of gossip as like, so this murder, that's like the tip top, right? And then you got adultery a little ways down. You got things like theft and lying. But gossip to me has always been like kind of playground politics. It's not, somebody said something mean about me to somebody else, whatever, brush it off.
Yeah.
But listen to what Romans says about the people whose consciences are just seared. It says, furthermore, just as they did not think it worthwhile to retain the knowledge of God, so God gave them over to a depraved mind so that they do what ought not to be done. They become filled with every kind of wickedness. Now listen to the list. Evil, greed, depravity. They're full of envy, murder, strife, deceit, malice. They're gossips, slanderers, God haters, insolent, arrogant, boastful. They invent ways of doing evil.
Yeah.
To me, I've always thought gossip, that's not that bad. The way that Paul puts it, it's as bad as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, it is the evidence of a depraved mind.
Wow.
Which now I'm just outing myself because it's like my conscience is seared here.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
see
this
it
is
as
hard
that
for
bad.
everybody.
But it's wicked. It's
What do you
terrible.
do? What are we supposed to do?
Well, there is a variety of things. God kind of put together a toolkit for us that we talked quite a bit about on Sunday, as far as using our words with restraint and having a no tolerance policy for gossip, because it's not something that you can be passive with. When you allow people around you to gossip, again, there's always a victim. It's never not corrosive. It hurts the hearer. It hurts the person that's speaking it. It hurts the person that it's spoken about.
Right.
And so for us, I think ultimately the most important thing we can do is to kind of turn gossip on its head, is to not have we should have a no tolerance policy for it. Shouldn't
Right.
allow it to happen around us. But instead, we should play some offense with our words. And instead of using our words to cut and hurt and kill, I think we use our words in a way to lift people up and edify and love. I love what John Acuff posted on a reel here recently, where he talked about doing this thing called reverse gossip, where he will speak positive, benevolent, kind things about people, and he'll wait for it to get back to them. And in my mind, that stuff doesn't travel well.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't go viral. You have to really be intentional about saying meaningful, because you don't want to be like glib with your words or
Right.
butter people up. But what's viral is gossip. Like when you want to say something negative, that sets
Everybody
the world on
knows,
fire. Everybody
yeah.
knows. But I love that idea of reverse gossip, being intentional with your words in a way to bless other people, even if they're not the ones that are in proximity to hear it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to be challenged by this whole series, and I think gossip is a big one, and we have to get past this idea that only some people gossip, that it's this innocent crime, like victimless crime,
Yeah.
and just kind of recognize the truth, which is that it is never not victimless. It is always corrosive.
Yeah.
It is always damaging, and to be intentional about making the choice to build others up.
Yeah.
That's really solid. I
Yeah.
really appreciate you, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for being here with us today. Thanks for joining us this episode. I don't know if you're struggling with gossip or if you guys are sitting in your CG wondering what you can do now. But I hope that you figure it out. And I hope that if you need anything at all, that you reach out to us. Email us at info@clifec.com. We'd love to have a conversation with you about God, about anything at all that you would need help going through. We're here for you. We love you. And we'll see you next time.